All right, number 19 says write a polynomial function of least degree with real coefficients in standard form that has the given zeros. So the zeros that they give us are these: 1, -1, square root of 3i, and negative square root of 3i. All right, so in order to write a polynomial, we've got to take these zeros and make them into some binomials, some that will be factors of our polynomial. To do that, all we have to do is just take x minus each of these. So x minus 1, x minus -1, which is x plus 1, x minus the square root of 3i, and x minus negative square root of 3i, which is x plus square root of 3i. So now we've got four factors that we can multiply together, and that will give us a polynomial. Okay, so we're going to get, so x plus 1 times x minus 1. We FOIL that, we get x times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. -1 times x is negative x. So those are just going to subtract to 0. And then -1 times positive 1 is -1. So that, this FOILs to just x plus 1. Over here we get x times x is x squared. X times square root of 3i is square root of 3ix. Negative 3i times x is negative square root of 3ix. So those are going to cancel each other out. They're going to subtract to 0. And what we're left with is then negative 3i times positive 3 square root of 3i is going to be negative. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. I times I is I squared. All right, so 3i squared, we can rewrite that. I squared is just -1, because remember, I is not a variable. I is a number. It's the square root of -1. So when we square that, we get I squared equals -1. And -1 times -3 is just 3. So what we really have here is x squared minus 1 times x squared plus 3. And now we can multiply those two together. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. -1 times x squared is negative x squared. -1 times 3 is -3. And we can combine our like terms here, so we get x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus 3. And that is going to be our polynomial of least degree that's going to give us those zeros.